Well, I think he's deserved it. Anybody who's been watching the games, he's been a pretty consistent player for us all year. He's worked hard, and I think it's a good chance to the situation everybody's in. We can have a look at a player like that, and obviously there's other players here that maybe might get a look, but he's well deserved of it, and it'll be interesting to see how he does.
I wanted to ask about that situation you're in with the way the Blackhawks, where they're at right now, and with you guys in the push. How does that work? I mean, might they boost your playoff feel a little bit, or race a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, the experiences I had with other teams, I mean, sometimes it's possible. But again, we get into that situation if you're the big team, the big club's out at a certain point, whatever they're mathematically out, then they tend to take up the Highmores and all these guys and let this, just to see what they have, and see if, what we have. And there might be other guys that maybe you're up for contract and they want to take a look at them, and this is how that affects us. But hopefully they have a quick look at these guys and get them right back to us, because I think we have a good thing going here, and there's a possibility we can get into some playoff hockey here in Rockford.
Now that the trade deadline's over and there's been kind of minimal movement in the organization, how does that look for you guys coming into this push?
Well, it's whether Highmore's here or Dahlstrom's back, or we lose other guys, and whatever goalie's in, or who's on the first power play, I don't think it's a huge factor the way we play. I mean, we play a certain style where anybody in our lineup, if they just buy in and play that way, we have a good opportunity to win. We're not going to score 6-7 goals and open it up. We have to win games 2-1, 3-2, or maybe even get teams to overtime or shootouts. And if we can do that, we have a real good chance, a good push here at the end. And it's not like we're 30 points out of it and we got to go in with winning all our last 20-something games or whatever we have. We just got to get the points we need and try to get points every night.
So does it different feel this year at all? This time of year, and the reinforcements of Chicago have stayed around for a while now, and now you got college seasons, junior seasons ending, and anticipating some more guys coming in. What's the feel knowing how that's heading?
Well, it's always an exciting feel as a coach. You see some different players coming in, and then maybe even some players like we talked about. Players are going up to get a shot, hopefully coming back, and then even some of those players that maybe were up there for a bit are coming back to help too. It's an exciting time, and I just think the last year, my first experience here, I just think it was just everybody was kind of in a bad situation. I think up top, with getting beat in the first round, it didn't help, and then we struggled all year. We lost some of our players to them early, and we just couldn't rebound from it. This year, I think we're just having a young group, a lot more energy around here, and I just think with Jeremy and Sheldon here too, we real positive, and we just try to keep everybody upbeat and have fun with it. And win or lose, we look at our mistakes, we work at them, and then we go right back at it. It's not the end of the world, and like I said, we're in a hunt here, and it's fun. It's exciting time for in there, and the guys are excited.
What does Lance bring to the room?
Well, I don't know Lance a whole lot, but just the one practice here, he had a smile on his face, and he works hard. And what I've heard of him, he's going to bring a lot to our room, help our young guys, and just be a leader with us. Obviously, it would have been nice if he was coming down and he's 30, 40 goal scorer and what have you. But he's going to work hard for us, and he's going to add a lot to that, especially in the room and even on the bench, like a Franson has and Glendening has. They're just they're good people to have around.
It's been a while since you guys have been able to string 2 wins together. What do you guys need to do to kind of keep the momentum going from the last win?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of those games we lost, we played well enough to win. We've outchanced teams that we just can't find the net. And I think guys are starting to realize that we got to really knuckle down in our D zone coverage and go from there. And then I think anytime we have the puck coming through the neutral zone and we're in their zone, we create a lot of havoc on teams. And we just have to really bear down in our D zone coverage. And once we do that, I think we'll get those games where maybe a couple go off a shin or a head, or we'll take anything off a butt. It doesn't matter. But I think you'll start to see guys maybe not gripping their stick so tight and be a little looser.
guys have talked a lot about the style of play and being able to handle the changes and the flow in and out of different guys and stuff. What has Jeremy done this year differently than you've seen even last year in the past that helps the team be able to withstand that? Because that's key in this league.
Yeah, it is. It's you know what, it's, and I've worked with some good coaches, and you take little things from all of them. I think the biggest thing this year, I think he's consistent with his message. There's no strings attached. We're not trying to reinvent the game here. We have a certain way we like to play. We like to play with some pace. Again, we like to cycle pucks. We like to hem teams in their own end if we can. It's just little things like that, but it's been consistent all through the year. We haven't changed anything. Our power play hasn't been good. Our penalty killing hasn't been good, but it's not affecting the way we play 5-on-5. So obviously, the message Jeremy brings to his staff, and then we relate it to all the players, is, stay the course. We don't have to change anything. What we do 5-on-5, we'll keep working on our specialty teams, but again, he's just a positive guy who keeps everything simple and consistent.
So the best way to maybe explain how that's been helping is to not change things even when you feel like maybe you should.
Yeah.
And is that what he's
Yeah,
saying?
that's what it is. And then anybody who comes in here, whether you get sent down to us or you leave or there's somebody from Indy, it's an easy way to play because we're not tweaking it because, say we lose 3 or 4 of our better players, we never tweaked a thing after that. We still play the same game. Players come up from Indy, maybe they're not like those players, they're more defensive minded or maybe they're more grinders, but that's fine because we don't change anything. Our style is pace, pace, pace. As long as we play with pace, and when the opportunity to make a play is there, we make it, and if it's not there, we get the pucks in, and then we go to work. And it's a pretty simple way to play hockey, but it's effective.
It's probably hard because your instincts want, when you get a different player, you may want to change things around or whatever.
You do, and sometimes you're like, oh, maybe we should change the way our power play looks or the way we PK it because our clientele is a little different now. But we stick the course, and I think that's a hats off to him because a lot of coaches I've had would tweak it and change your forecheck and let's change the way we PK and let's change this and change that. We've stayed the course, and I think it's helped us get to this point. If we continue to do it, I think it's going to help us get into the playoffs.
Are you surprised at all by the success of these young guys coming in? Some of these guys are without pro experience at all.
Yeah, it's been great. Like, obviously you sign a kid like a Highmore and a Pelche and these guys, and you bring them in, and they're a Radish, these guys that maybe not draft picks, and you just find them, and then you bring up like a Samuelson from the coast to give him a chance. And he's 3 goals in his first 5 games or what have you, and then Pelche's having a great year. The Securas, the great stories. But I think that's a tribute to the, not saying me, but to a staff in whole, and what the message Jeremy brings is, doesn't matter who's in our lineup, we're playing a certain way, everybody's going to play unless you're just not having a good night, and here we go, guys, let's go. It doesn't matter who's in the locker room, we're going to play with some pace and have a little fun at it.